All right, welcome in Blue Sky traders. It is Blue Sky Breezy here, getting into some Asia action. We will give it a few minutes to get everybody trickled in here, and then we will start it out like we always do. Do a good recap on what happened today, kind of what moved the market, and we'll take it from there. Mute that bad boy. All right, before I get going, I'm gonna give it like 2 minutes to get some people in here because what happened today was, I don't want to say mind blowing because it makes sense from a technical perspective, but it's um, interesting to say the least. It's super interesting. All right, team. We'll go ahead and kick it off just to keep time moving. Um, so, if you've been with me for a while, we kind of talked about what was two known resistance points within the market, and it is mind blowing how bullish the market is, right? Like we don't need to look too far left. I'm not looking at any more TA, right? Anything up, to the left, down is it's irrelevant now. Like it doesn't matter. We have yet to break any structural concept to like bring relevance to price to the left. What has happened is like pure supply and demand 101. And there's a million different ways to go about this to make money. For me, when we're kind of in parabolic states, like I'm looking for really simplistic things. I'm looking for areas to show support, and I'm looking for areas to show resistance, right? It's what we should predominantly be looking for as traders. When you're in a bullish environment, as we are, you're kind of looking for what was known resistance to become known support. Um, and so you look at this interaction here that happened on Friday. You look at, again, prior known support, or excuse me, resistance that we have up here from looks like May 26th or the 14th, excuse me, last Thursday. You look at these areas here and you kind of look at the way the price played out prior. You look at this interaction, it's mind boggling. And what I always talk about is like, you come into the market with the premise of three things for me in the way that I operate is what happened in the past. If it happens into the present, you expect for it to happen into the future, right? And it's just really, really served me well. So what I mean by that isn't like, hey, you come to this area and go short, but when you look at what price has been doing, it's been presenting resistance and then turning that resistance into support. And it's done it very cleanly. If you've been with me, I always talk about two-legged structure. All right, I always talk about price moving in twos. You get a healthy uptrend, healthy downtrend, and then continuation. Right. This is ideally when you're in a bull market. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see two-legged moves. You're going to see continuation. You're going to see what was prior resistance turn into support. When you're in these conditions, like you really don't need a magic ball to quantify an entry model at all. You just kind of have to be observant of what price is telling us. Sunday, you had an absurd gap up, right? Like this thing went from 560, we'll call it, to 660, 300 points. And then you got the continuation on Sunday as well. Soft holiday comes in on Monday, you get a minor pullback, which is a blessing for us in the intraday side. When I noticed, I woke up and I noticed like, hey, we have turned this area that could have been resistance, into support. We got to go long. It was a no brainer. to go long today, just given, if you zoom out as traders, it is tough to look left. There's nothing to the right, right? This is what makes day trading hard. There's nothing over here to help guide you in the moment. So you have to use what data you have present, and that is everything to the left. So when I notice this sequence of really, I don't want to say identifiable price points, right? Because you may struggle to see this, but if you just look at an hourly chart, it's pretty telling of what price is trying to do. Price had an objective, or I think retail traders had an objective of 30K, and it missed it. It missed it numerous times, right? And when it finally got there today intraday, it blew it off, right? It went up 100 points past it, 120 points past it to be exact. And this isn't random. I mean, this is aggression from institutions to really push that price point. That is a big number, massive number on the Qs. And it's kind of mind blowing to think, a couple years ago, we were trading 10,000 points lower. And even before that, anyone who's been trading 10, 20 years like me, like these numbers are crazy to see. What I find interesting about today is when we were pulling back, right? We went through here. Um, we had consecutive hours of green. When we finally got that pullback, I am kind of like hopeful that we come back down about another 100 points lower to get a really good equal low, kind of fresh as best W pattern at this area, right? Where price chose to stop was super interesting to me. You have this one wick to the left. Super interesting to me from an hour perspective. Like this wick, this is what held price, to potentially going bearish. I say bearish with like a grain of salt, but testing some of this known area of liquidity, right? This wick prevented it, and then we saw a very, very clean, slow continuation. What I observed about today was kind of interesting. And I say interesting because it felt like this uptrend was so quick. I don't know why, but you look at market open an hour, it took an hour to get here. You look at the downtrend, I don't know why, because it lasted about an hour and a half. This thing felt the slowest grind down ever. And I kept thinking, when is a good time to get involved in this? And it had to be under this area, right? Under this 30K mark. Like I had no interest in being short until 30K broke. When it did, I took the short. When we took profit, right at this same area, this same wick, right? And then it just reversed. It continued up and slowest grind. So where does that put us now? And I want to go back to an hourly chart because I think this is going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough in Asia to kind of pinpoint what price wants to do. We're right at all-time highs again, and you have one or two things that are going to happen, right? You're either going to break out or you're going to reject this known area. And this area is not big, but it did cause this reaction, right? This 120 mark down, this is what caused the sell-off. So like if I'm looking at a reactionary short from this area, this is the place to do it, right? Like this is the place to go short that makes sense, and then really manage tight risk above this area, and then go long for a breakout trade if this area shows support. So I think Qs, I think it'd be tough to produce any downside, right? Earlier, I think bears had a chance, right? They had a chance to push price down. Well, every time they pushed it down, price came back up. So I think if we do go short, there is an opportunity, but that opportunity is it's going to have to like really produce itself, because you're going against every single trend there is, right? Every time frame trend, we're going against it on there. So for now, it looks like an opportunity. We're going to give price, just a little bit to go over, and we're going to go over to gold real quick, kind of do our breakdown on gold because I am interested in gold longs. There is a few variables that must be known with those longs, though. So hourly chart, and I know this is ugly. If you've been with me, we day traded like all of this. That's why there's so many things up here. But it's essentially been going zone to zone, right? Um, until it broke this lower zone, broke these equal lows, and has now found a base. And it is choppy once again. So gold has went from accumulation to distribution, accumulation, distribution, accumulation, back into a secondary leg, right? Um, when I think about direction on gold, it has to be long until we're either up at this top point or this point of control, or we're breaking this area down, right? So really anything above 4,500 psychological, it's a long on gold. I put this line here, and because I think tonight, if we are to, go long on gold and have an opportunity, it's going to be above this gap candle. Really good candle here to push into the zone. So we were looking for a close above 45.25.7. We may front load this just to get busy. Same on Qs. We may do that as well just to get busy, just to keep it going. Everybody in the chat, hello. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Hope you guys had a good day. It was interesting day to navigate. Hindsight's always, everybody's the best day trader in hindsight. Today was interesting. I know we talked about it in Power Hour, but MU's guidance coming out, or excuse me, analyst upgrade coming out of double double the stock price. I can't even think about a time where someone has doubled their prediction or forecast of price. When you think about it from a market cap perspective, this is where things kind of get mind blowing. And I don't know if Matt talked about any of this. Um, their market cap hit 1 trillion today. You would be looking at 2 trillion plus. And it's justifiable. Don't get me wrong. When you think about the memory space in the AI trade, like who is well equipped to supply, say, NVIDIA with those options? Well, it's Micron, right? It's MU who can do it. I say all that to say, today is the very first day that I can think of this year, in so long, where one stock, as it should be from a fundamental perspective, a good company has kind of carried the weight of the market. It's been a while. This isn't earnings. This is just pure strength of a stock that has sentiment plays attached with it. You look at AMD, which has been on a tear. It went over $500 today. And I've mentioned this in chat numerous times within the streams. Like whenever you have that secondary chip model or secondary AI trade model producing significant gains, price continues. It doesn't matter kind of what the choppiness is, like price continues every single time. So I think that was kind of telling early on for what it was. Madness. So madness. But again, welcome in. Hope everybody had a good day. I know we got a small crew tonight. So let's see if we can produce some sets. I do feel like both of them, it's amazing coming in after, the night streams are good when they're good, but man, it is a tough act to follow when the market ended Friday at 524, 29, 524, and we're already 500 points plus above that. And then you get this crazy rally. So we will do our part tonight and try to. I do like this reaction at this area. Like I do. I think when I'm just thinking technicals and what price is telling me, short term, in which price could very well be lying, short term is telling me this is a short. You have to kind of go off of the reaction, right? So we're going to get in here. Not even going to wait for the candle to close. This is a very, very simple play. If price breaks this high, you exit the short and you look for break and retest, right? You look for break and retest to go long. That is, it does not get more simple from like a risk perspective. You just put hard stop up here if you wanted to. Like this is simple, very simple play to where we see the initial reaction and does the market behave enough from a technical perspective to give us a print. Um, if we are to go short, like I mentioned early on, we kind of have to keep our reality in check. What I mean by that is like we need to probably have conservative good trims, right? At known areas. So like VWAP here, for example, some relevant prices that aren't like being too unrealistic, saying, hey, I want to target 50 points lower down here. Could be. Could see that momentum, but I don't think so, guys. I think we're too bullish to even attempt that, right? If we could get under VWAP, under 3069, potential to see that. But I think we need to really keep everything conservative and understand like 20 points, if we can get it in this short, is a good play. It would be a good play there. And for gold, I am interested in longs, but I would love a lower retest, about 10 points lower. We're not going to see that here. Um, we're not going to see that in the night stream at all. I always say that and then it hits. But like if I could target known break and retest areas for longs, like I would love to get long at like 45.13. Obviously, market open 5 p.m. and it just rocketed, right? So that opportunity was already there. And we'll see if we can get a secondary retest to like 16s to go long, 45.16. I did have a big level, 45.12, and it's kind of fizzled. It's fizzled itself out, right? Like it did when it came to it, it flirted with it, it gave itself an opportunity to show itself, and it gave it up pretty easy. So I removed that level for now. Um, and we'll see if that area becomes importance later on. I'm just gonna market fill a few of them on gold. Lower confidence on gold for sure. I want a pullback to at least the 16 and 13s, but we'll see. We'll see if we can get a flag. Excuse me. We'll see if we can get a flag break. You would realistically 10 points. Realistically, I know it's a little wide. Like I would be looking to manage risk. Excuse me, like down here in this range. We'll give it an opportunity. We'll come back and revisit. See if we can get at the 13s as well. I say it's never going to hit the extremes, and it always hits the extremes. You guys know the deal. All right, 10 points on Qs. We need more. Like we need more. Let's at least get to VWAP and call that something. If you're out there, you have any questions? Fire away. What a better time when the stream is slow. I got the chat up. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, we are in the secondary fill on gold. Nacho, what's up, bro? What's up, Nacho? Separate range. Really not looking for much on gold either. Like if we could get a pop, look for like 23. 25.13. This is going to be, like I mentioned and put a box here. I think this is a good retest for it. 4 longs right there. That's ugly. And then you look at price. Prices on gold it is definitely not the cleanest at all. We keep breaking key areas and then we chop for a little bit, give it a secondary opportunity for a bullish zone to fulfill, and then we kind of chop again, right? And it's not random. You look at structure, this is a downtrend for sure, right? Like gold is in a short term downtrend, right to 4,500. And it's got some slippage. It is gold. You think about 40-point slippage on gold, kind of normal. As crazy as that is, like this is some serious momentum into this area. But really, I think we have to be bullish above 4,500. It's just that slippage that comes with gold. It's very real slippage. And 15-minute did show a 3 bar. And we'll see where this closes, and if it continues to 13, I will take that ad, and then we'll look to manage accordingly under there. I don't want to get married to this with potential to come back only about 10 points lower, but I don't want to get stuck in that trade. And then for Qs, we are so close to VWAP, like so close. I want to be a little greedy, but I think, as I mentioned, conservative play, not much at all. So we do need to be mindful of what price does here. You're nearing VWAP, you got 15, 16 points, whatever, from a short. Kind of start thinking, is this enough for now? Is it? Or do we need more? And I definitely don't want to get knifed on gold either. So if you're in that gold, we need to be careful. We definitely need to see a close. I put a 15-minute trend line here. Like we definitely need to see a close back above that, above 17 mark. If not, we need to be aware that if it cracks at 13, where I have my order at, it can get a little dicey under there. So we'll see. Man, missed the TP by a point. I think we know what that means. Yeah. Makes sense. From the top of there, 111 down to 70. I mean, that's 40 points. That happened pretty quick. We just did not get up here at the top, right? This here would have been a phenomenal short right here, right under this area. That would have been the true short. We chased it pretty low. Let's see. Let's see what happens. 102. Yeah, that was a good bullish retest. I get it. It makes sense. All right. I'm gonna add into this one, and then I'm gonna debate on cutting if it closes back above 104. Really, probably give it room to 112. Shoulda, woulda, coulda at this low. It missed VWAP by a point, right? Missed our PT1 by a point. So we'll see if it comes back and produces a lower low. Right? I don't think so. I think bulls are intentful down here. And it's no brainer that we're going to be breaking this high again. No brainer. Now, so we'll give it room. We'll see what it does, and then we will manage risk accordingly. Okay. So I think we had a good short. We were up, I don't know, 15, 20 points or something. Um, and I hope some of you guys got out there at VWAP. The premise for me, one, this would have been a secondary good long. The premise for me, and I have these in boxes, I think it has to be a short. Doesn't have to be, but it gave us the reaction for short, right? So we went into the short, had some good points on it, and it just bounced, right? Which makes sense. We're in an extremely bullish market. Until this area breaks the prior known resistance up here at like 115 to 118, until this area breaks, if it's giving you reactions like it did, I think you shoot your shot, right? Like we did, and we had some decent profit. We're gonna get stopped out here though. This is on a path to like miss our PT by a point. They literally hunted our orders there, and probably go long. Like I mentioned, I think this one was pretty clear from a risk perspective. You just kind of put your stop above that high. Probably a little more room than just literally at that box. And then if it goes against you, no big deal, right? You're protected from the stop, and then you look for a secondary break and retest continuation. So I think you try, right, until price says otherwise. I think you try this resistance. Probably be a little more disciplined with the profit taking. My expectations, as I mentioned, were like super light from a short perspective, but like at least we want to give it a test. I'm okay taking a loss to give a play an opportunity to produce. So no big deal. Probably going to stop us out. Shoulda, woulda, coulda on the profit. Gold. Excuse me. Gold missed our final fill. Mr. Buy take as well. I can only imagine. Whatever this wick is, it missed our final ad there. So we'll see if we can get this break on gold and get some good profit out of gold. And I am gonna think this is gonna be an L. I'm gonna lighten the load just a little bit. I know I added two more. I'm pretty sure this stops us out and goes into a bullish breakout. Like I'm not, you guys know me, I am not the one to call tops of the markets. Like there is no way I'm calling the top. We saw the reaction, had a good entry, had some good profit. It's a bullish market through and through. So seeing 40-point bounce nearing VWAP, it makes sense. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. And where does the market go from here? That is the $1 million question, in my opinion. You look at MU today, you look at that entire excuse me sector, and like there's so much untapped potential out there. Like nobody's even talking about Microsoft or Apple anymore. Like it is all of these secondary chip models um, that are just like driving us crazy, and the partnerships through those companies. And you look at the investment into quantum computing from the government, that's like really fueling this market as well. So you have to start asking yourself, what is the damn target? And I thought 30K would be a logical target. I really did. I'm thinking, okay, this has been kind of silly. You start to look back a little bit. Doesn't matter what time frame you go on. You can look at like 3 months gains. We're up like 20%. We've produced 7,000 plus points. Like, what is the objective? I thought I had an idea of what that objective was, which would be that 30K mark, or even the 7,500 mark, which is for ES. Like I thought this area would kind of be the mark. Who knows anymore? I'm not one to like try to forward forecast price. Like I don't do that. You can use fibs, you can use technicals. You have numerous levels that are painting known mathematical upside, but the intent for this move isn't the technical side, right? Like it's a fundamental driver, and we haven't even ended the resolution or the conflict with Iran. Like we have yet to have full resolution. So where does this market go, and what is that target is kind of mind blowing to me as just an observer and a trader in the market. Who knows anymore? I don't think you can even predict. And Rajan, I am waiting here. What I don't want to do is I don't want to get trapped. Like we had a good short, um, could have took profit. This here would have been a good retest for longs at VWAP. I don't want to immediately go long here into a failed breakout. So we're gonna give it some time to produce. I'm big on when you lose a trade, which we had a winning trade go red. Sit back, observe price for a moment. Let's give it a couple bars to see what it wants to do. Let's see if it's going to produce a high or if this is a failed breakout, right? So when I think about how to approach this breakout, kind of twofold. You now have an established high, right? You have two highs that have now been broken, right? You have these two highs that have been broken by this wick. If I want a clean bull trade, I just wait for this area to go long, right? Um, I could just put pending order here and just wait to go long. And if it goes long and it scoops me up and we get smooth continuation, phenomenal, right? Inversely, like if I just front load this and this is still the only known resistance, yeah, it's going to be a little annoying if price goes down and like produces the good short. but I'm just going to be patient, give it room, because right now we could have been getting chopped up both ways. So we'll give it some time to see what it wants to do, because it still could be a short. I don't think it's smart to short it. I think what we got from that short in hindsight was probably, um, probably the best opportunity in that short. We had good reaction, good break, minimal follow through, right to VWAP, although it didn't tag it the way I would have liked, right? Like it still got that interaction at VWAP and then bounced accordingly. So we're gonna let price show us what it wants to do now. For gold, this thing is kind of looking like a dud. We would want to see immediate continuation over this break. Um, it's not producing as much as I would like. Think you still have potential to get to the range, but I also think we're kind of starting a very classic higher low, lower low, higher low, lower low, higher low, continuation to the downside, right? This variable, you don't know that's what price is potentially trying to do, right? Until this area that just hit occurs. And then when price, you give it an opportunity because it could very well break this trend line to the upside and turn into a flag, right? Like that's really all a flag is you're kind of playing with some form of fire to say I'm taking this breakout, which you can, I'm front loading this because I don't have much time. Could really wait for a candle close above that area to be safe, or target the low of the channel. But that's essentially what a flag is. It's like you're producing, you have a higher high, then you produce a lower high, right? You're producing that downtrend um, progressive channel. And in turn, the bulls, snipe the low of that channel and you get your continuation model. Um, so you do have to be observant of what can happen when you're trying to take a flag break as well. Like you could get trapped in a thing that now turns into a solidified downtrend, and this higher high never gets tapped again. It's kind of the twofold aspect of trading a flag. If you just wait for confirmation break, you may get it, but you also may get faked out. So you have to decide which way you want to go about it. And then Q's is playing those games. She playing the game up here. Man, it's like 7,000 degrees in my bedroom right now, in my office. Like this is super tempting to me because how many interactions do you see? You see enough interactions that kind of justify a short, right? None of them are going to have much follow through is the only issue. Give them the false breakout, baby. Give them the false breakout. It's crazy, man. Like Nacho mentioned for the flush, like you guys know how bullish I am, and I take every opportunity to kind of joke about it because I think being a bull is the easiest, dumbest money in the market. But like, where are we going? It's a question I don't really ask myself. I kind of just go with the flow, trade the chart, um, And then I really started looking at like MU today and AMD, and I was looking at like the random spaces out there. You have stocks that are now approaching valuations that again make no sense. Um, Market caps that make no sense, like at all. You have in a year, like you look at what MU is doing in 1 year, and it's not even showing signs of this being the end of that trade when you think about a double forecast of an analyst price. And what comes with that is double market cap. Like it's just mind blowing. So, we say can't wait for the flush. We're not even close. Like, what does that even look like? Because, well, one, we know what it looks like. I don't think it's going to take much to start that conversation because I was looking at volume today and there's so much divergence within the market. Price goes up on low volume. That's a divergence, right? And that's essentially what we're seeing across the equity market. So when you think about liquidity and preventative pending liquidity, it wouldn't take much to slice some areas, right? And there's going to be some key structural areas along the way. Um, just you can't call that. When you're in this type of market, you cannot be the one to say, okay, today's the day. Because we've seen even after pullbacks, red days, those are taking full advantage of that red day. Um, so I don't know. I don't like all time highs trading. I know you guys know that about me. I don't like this because you take a long, you have a liquidity kind of switch here, and then you take the long for a breakout and it chops or whatever, right? Um, Comparable to saying like I'm going long at known support that I'm confident in. You don't get that at highs at all. And as illogical as it is, you could really just probably front load this, layer into it like we've seen every single day, and probably make money, as silly as that is. So just don't overly try to fight it or call the top on it at all. Like we could try. I mean, just to try. We'll get out here and see. Yeah, I don't think gold is gonna work out. So I hope some of you guys took profit. I'll probably hold on to gold because I need to hold my bias. Anything above 4,500, I think is a long. I think it's just gonna be stubborn. It's been so choppy on gold. All right, we're in the YOLO breakout on Q, so and it's immediately up. I think $50. That's silly. Silly. Yeah, if you guys are out there as well, like the stream. I know I haven't mentioned much of that. Definitely want to get these Asia streams jumping off for sure. I think it's such a good time for anything you guys need, and when the market calms down, which Lord knows when that'll be. If we could just get like a flat day and see some smooth continuation overnight, like that is what makes Asia streams so good. Is you just get like smooth, calm continuation. The only issue, and it's been like this as we know for probably 2 months, is we keep getting 500-point moves and then we're trying to make money after that. There's ample opportunity. It just doesn't make it as smooth at all. All right, guys, there's a little movement on gold. I don't think we're going to get the secondary fill. If you're in gold, not a lot, 3 points or whatever. No harm in being strategic with your money on gold at all. Like I really want up here at 25 and like test the top of these highs, but this is a big ask, is what I'll say. Excuse me. Excuse me. I mean, now we just kind of sit here and wait. We're in a breakout trade. See if we get any continuation. What is this? This is a nice 35-point sweep at a high. Literally a bear trap right here. It's crazy. Bear trap into continuation. Definitely don't sell 51. I'm just gonna see if we get some pops. Kind of silly, but if you took the breakout, we saw, we're at $100 now. We were at like 90 or $100 on gold. So just manage your profit, guys. Manage your profit accordingly. Uh, okay. There are no targets up here. Like, if you want to base it off a relevant price, there's nothing here. Um, so you could do it a few ways. This is where, I have levels up there, but this is where I think fibs are highly underrated. Like you could take current day a price, right? Or you could take this candle just makes no sense here, but like you could take this candle here, which would make more sense, the Tuesday true candle, and just paint your targets from that candle from a fib. But what I prefer for me is like I use Camarilla. I think it's a very simplistic tool. Like here I have a Camarilla level at 125. This is the area it needs to close above. And then I have one up here at 166. So like this would be ultimate runner. Anything in between, you kind of just got to take your profit when you're happy with the play. We about to get we about to get chopped up again by not taking profit. That's crazy. But I'm not scalping now. Like I guess that's it's another good 15 points. But if I'm taking a breakout set, I want to get some more for sure. Like I need some up high trims to make it worth the while. If not, I take my loss and during the cash open tomorrow, we have better range. Kind of silly though. You can just go long and whatever that play went with five cons, like just go long and make a quick 150 bucks. Fib at 183. I mean, I'm sure I could produce some extensions up here, but this isn't my style. Like you could take just the day, as I mentioned, not the current day. You could just take this prior day and fib extension that bad boy out. Get off the daily. And yeah, that there's the fib right here that breaks out. And then to be honest, just from a daily perspective, this thing's got some freaking room. Um, who knows? Who knows what it'll be? And Jaja, you may get your failed breakout in the short right here. This is kind of textbook now, but I am not flip flopping. I'm not. Excuse me. We had some good trades. Shoulda, woulda, coulda taken profit. I mean, every single trade was green. Nearing VWAP, should have took it here, but like this is a L I'm okay with. This breakout, although we were green, I need more. Like if I'm really taking a breakout trade, I need positive risk to reward on this one. Like if I'm saying breakout, okay, it can break out 40 points for what I have on my chart. So kind of be a dud of a stream. We could have been, we could have been the hero and walked away green in this set, but I'm okay. Like I'm okay taking a green trade going red on twice just to kind of show like I need more. I need more profit. It's okay to lose um, comparable to taking small gains. That's just me and my approach. It served me very well. Like I'm gonna let the trade produce. If we were to break VWAP on that short, again, I think it was very wishful thinking to get down to this area tonight, at least, right? Very wishful thinking, but we could have had a little more, right? From that zone. From the longs, this is just a silly breakout. I think it still breaks out. It's a no brainer that we're gonna break out. Appreciate everybody liking the stream as well. Probably, now that I'm looking here, probably should have took profit on that short. Just when I'm thinking about expectations and where price held, like this was the next known area. It makes sense. I'm waiting on VWAP in that scenario. It makes sense. Like that was the next known um, variable of price. Yeah. Like here, if this is it does price is never going to be perfect. We could just, for simplicity, say this is a rounding bottom, turns into a cup and handle continuation, which it is, right? You don't know it's going to be any of that until it produces it. But even if this was just a W, yeah, right where price stopped is right at the neckline here. So could have been a little more observant there and actually just taking profit on that short at that area. Makes sense now that I look at it. And all right, team, this was kind of a boring stream. I mean, we had some good trades, didn't take profit when we should. So I'm going to give it 2 or 3 minutes if anyone had any questions, real quick, just to wrap it up with any questions. All right, team. Tomorrow, me and Coach Becky will be owning the New York Open. So I'm actually super excited about that. I do trade the Open each and every single day. I know you guys see me posting in the profit and loss channel every single day about like 8:40 a.m. my time. Like I'm typically done. So me and Becky will be running it. Obviously, nobody can produce Mike, but we're gonna do our best and we're gonna give this market hell. I mean, who knows where we go tomorrow? I think it's a no-brainer from a breakout perspective over a fresh high. Man, I'm just gonna be praying tomorrow for another 30K retest. Like before we get into the trades and everything by New York Open, I am hoping that it retests 30K just to kind of reset expectations in range. Um, so that's kind of my wishful thinking where I would love to be a bull at. Um, really good just retest to like some base, like whether it be this wick that's already produced, like let's get a body and some some consistent consolidation to show this as support comparable to just a wick. Like I'm hoping for a logical play. We're probably not going to have any more logic for the rest of the week, I feel. So we'll probably just open up and gap and go like we've been doing. Maybe a little pullback into an opening range play. But this is so bullish. I mean, mega bullish. I'm a perma bull. You guys who trade with me know I am a perma bull, and I kind of just start to wonder, especially after today, where are we going? What is the objective behind price anymore? And what I thought could be a max extension, I think Micron today kind of showed we're not even close at all. So who knows? What I will say, as always, and this is the way I'll end it, I don't care what type of market we're in. You're going to be two things in this market. You're either going to be a gambler or a risk manager. The gambler never makes it. So, as illogical as the market may be, whatever the scenario is, doesn't matter. You get into a trade, you have a justifiable reason to be in the trade. You manage your risk after you press buy and sell. That's it. That's all we can do. And this thing keeps tempting the short and the breakout up here. Just crazy. All right, team. Appreciate you all. You'll see me and Coach Becky tomorrow. Good session. We had some good trades. Shoulda, woulda, coulda on the profit taking. As always, if you're out there and you have any questions on your trading, I don't care if it's in YouTube, in the DMs, within the Discord futures trade chat room, hit us up, man. Let us know. Like, I know some people are struggling out there. I know we're all not superheroes in this market. If you need help, please just keep in mind that we are resources for you. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace.